What an incredibly hard thing to do. As natural as it should be, you never want to say goodbye to your parents, and he left us way too early. My dad, he was so many different things to different people. To strangers, he was someone who could strike up a conversation and leave you laughing. At the jail, he was a dependable co-worker who rarely called in. To his friends, he was fun-loving, happy, helpful, up for anything. To our family, he was all those things and more. But he was one thing across the board for everyone on that list. He always had your back. Always there with honor, loyalty, integrity. He always did the right thing, even if it was hard. In fact, he taught me how important it is to do things, especially if they are hard, because that's usually when it matters the most. He dropped everything to help anyone, sometimes literally. Working on a car or a project, he'd leave all his tools where they lay and head out the door to help if friends or family called. I can only hope he realized what a gift to us he was, that he made us all feel like a priority to him. He valued us, and we all knew he was in our corner no matter what happened. I think the kids these days call that a ride or die friend, up for anything and here no matter what, and that was him for so many. His work ethic always impressed me. He was a night owl, and yet his earlier jobs at Bethlehem Steel or Buffalo Specialty Products required him to be up very early each morning. I would hear him get up and go through his morning routine without fail, and even if he was an incredibly grumpy grizzly bear in the mornings, he did his difficult jobs unceasingly every day. He changed his career at almost 40, going into the academy for the New York State Department of Corrections, and living downstate for a while until he could transfer home. He endured all of these sacrifices and hardships to help my mom give us all a better life, but also to better himself, and that's a pretty spectacular life example. Despite so much significant trauma in his lifetime, he soldiered on and he never quit. He had a wild imagination, a dark sense of humor, and yet an innocent wonder in experiencing new things. He would drag us to every air show with the enthusiasm of a little kid expanding on the little details about each plane. He gave me my love for animals through Steve Irwin and nature documentaries, for sci-fi movies and dinosaurs, for watching the space shuttle launches, and imagining the best for humanity's future. We loved playing the Atari and then the Nintendo together as a family, and we once spent an entire summer with him meticulously cataloging the world in The Legend of Zelda. We did not spend much time outside that summer. As we are both night owls, one of my favorite things to do was to watch a late night movie or documentary with him during what felt like the middle of the night. How cool is that for a kid to get to stay up and enjoy the same things as your dad? He was easy for me to love. He taught me all the stuff a good dad should teach, that a good home sound system can make or break a movie, how to change a flat tire, that dads really do stop at every museum plaque, that staying in and enjoying the little things with your family are actually the big things, but above all, that a dad should make you feel protected and safe, special and loved. He also gave me my irrational fear of zombies through the wrong movies, so maybe all his ideas weren't good ones. His love language was music, and he gave us all an appreciation of what music can do for the soul. He loved classic rock and blues, and his absolute favorite band was Pink Floyd. My husband Mike always jokes that he was welcomed into our family via one of my dad's ceremonial Pink Floyd experiences. He would often turn off the lights, make everyone find a space, put on an entire Pink Floyd album, and tell you to close your eyes and really feel it with your other senses and imagination. I can only imagine whether Mike thought to run at that point, but these experiences will always be one of our favorite family memories with him. No one deserves the tragedies and health challenges that he endured, especially to be taken so early. But I know he would say that life can be hard, and life might not be fair, but we all have to go through these tough times. You cannot have a rainbow without sun and rain, so put in the effort to make the good times more special and to make it count. It's worth the fight. Don't give up. Show up for all of it, as messy as it can be. I'll never forget that even the last few years he handled it all with an easygoing grace. As a kid, I remember him being that perfect blend of a little scary and happy-go-lucky. After his Alzheimer's diagnosis, that hardness melted away, leaving behind this sort of sweet and happy vulnerability. He was almost childlike, and it made me realize that's exactly what he always was underneath. A small gift to be able to see it all, the time without any armor. He always had this beaming smile for me when I walked in to see him every week, and was happy to let us remind him to drink something or get him to walk around, as long as he got some ice cream out of the deal. It's as if when some of his memory and perception were stripped away, underneath it all, that was his default setting, love, and his ability to see it everywhere. That was true goodness in his core. He adored both of his parents, loved the relationship he had with his sisters Tina and Jean, his sister-in-law Colleen, his brothers-in-law Chris and Wayne. He doted on his nieces and nephews like they were his own kids. He was incredibly proud of all his grandkids, and he often told his daughters that too. He cherished his best friend Bob and Myron and Jack so much, and considered himself so lucky to have Don and Rose as sort of his loving Alden adoptive parents, but also the best of friends. I know I am missing so many people that were important to him, but you know who you are. He loved Mom so much. They were both so passionate and married so young, but like magnets, they were each other's true north, and no matter what challenges they went through in 47 years, they always found each other again. And she's devoted her life to caring for him since his diagnosis 7 years ago. Looking through photo books so many times over the last year, he'd always point to my mom's picture and say, "Hey, that's my beloved." I mean, sometimes he'd say that's my mom, but as every married woman can tell you, that's probably a little accurate too. After getting a few signs from him, I realized today that if I've gained him as a guardian angel, I was struck by how lucky I am to still have him in my corner. The way he lived prepared him to be the best guardian there is. One sign, my dad always gave me flowers on my birthday. And so when I went to the florist to buy flowers for the funeral, and the total was exactly my birthday, off by 1 penny, I like to think it was him saying he's here with me. And being that tiny bit off, well, he's just started in the Guardian Angel training program. He was messy, he tinkered, he dreamed big, fought loud. He may not have said sentimental things often, but you always knew he felt them. Like I said, he always had your back. He was always there, up for adventures, and had a huge heart. His love for everyone was his strength. No matter what he did, he threw himself fully into it. And if we can aim to be half as passionate, loving, creative, loyal, honorable, and happy as he was here, together I think we'll do a great job in keeping his legacy alive. Our lives are better for having been loved by him. Rest now, Dad. Wish you were here. We all miss and love you, but we know you're learning to fly. I love you.